Good anytime, my fuzzies, to a quick review of a game I just finished. All opinions in this video are mine and mine alone, so just please enjoy and don't take them too seriously. Thank you. Good anytime, my fuzzyites, and welcome to a quick review of FNAF 2 Five Nights at Freddy's 2. As usual with these things, I kind of go through the plot points of whatever I'm talking about, starting with story, then going to characters, setting, game mechanics, and if this game is within a series, the legacy of it, how it stacks up to its last predecessor. I talk about the games and how they go out, as well as give my own opinions at the end of each section and the end conclusion of how I feel about them. So without further ado, FNAF 2, or Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The story. There's, on the surface, not really a story. You're kind of just a security guard who's sitting down at a desk. The animatronics are programmed to find child predators and I guess kill them, take care of them and whatnot. Your character, I don't believe, is a child predator. Maybe everyone's wrong about this series, this being Mike, and it is just some random child predator, which wouldn't be good, but good if they get taken out at the end, like they do in Custom Night, maybe. I don't know. A lot of this lore, the story of the game and whatnot, is a lot deeper in symbolism and whatnot, and throughout playing all the games in the series, you kind of piece together the lore of each individual game, what they meant to represent, what they add to the overarching plot. Basically, there's an overarching story through it all, that you don't get the whole picture just playing every individual game. So for story, I can't really say much. This is another game where the story is a means to on the surface story, you're a night guard working at a Freddy's pizzeria, making sure everything's good, making sure the animatronics are fine. So there's not much more than that. Just that's how it is. Hey, you're here, they're here. You're on the job trying to survive. Yeah, like I said, they're programmed to, I guess, detect predators, which you either are one, or as the lore suggests, you look exactly like someone else who they would deem a threat. So that's why they go after you, because you look very similar to your father. Allegedly, if the lore is correct. Which with this series, anything is possible. So yeah, like I said, with the story, this is definitely one of those means to an end. You just get in, it's there, it's like Mario. There's the princess, she's kidnapped by a turtle, go fight him, go across lands. It's a means to an end. It doesn't need to be flashy or, oh my gosh, over the top. It's just A equals B, which equals you doing something. Or A plus B equals C, which is you doing something about it. Yeah. So, moving on to characters. Again, there's not much character in here. A lot of it is tied down to the lore. They do have the hinges. Like, a lot of it in the characters is tied more to the lore that you figure out while playing all the games. What is there? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? There's at least 11 or 12 games out right now that you just kind of go through, have fun, do what you need to do. At the end of all of it, piecing together clues and whatnot, you figure out the overarching puzzle. So for characters, again, means to an end. There's a lot of good character designs. I like the toy animatronics. They look very nice, plasticky, and like you would find at a place. And then you have they also look fake. But then you have the withered animatronics, or old animatronics, which they have a lot more character to them. I like how there's scruff and debris on them. Of course, it's because they've been sitting in the back for so long. But they look good. Balloon Boy is neat, annoying as all hell, gameplay-wise. Mangled, I love the design of Mangled being just a face with loose wires, and it can go along the ceiling and whatnot. It's nice. So while the characters don't really have much personality, unless you really dive into it, they do look nice. They're threatening a lot of the times. Overall, a good game. Good choices. Besides that, we'll go on to the location, which is another pizzeria. You have your vents on the side, main hallway. There's like 4 party rooms down the hall. The main stage, where the toy animatronics lie. You have the storage room, where the withered animatronics lie. And then you have like the prize corner, where the puppet lies. And the... I don't even know what that room is called, but that's where Mangle... in the far ends of the hall, where Mangle lives. Overall, it's a pizzeria. Again, it kind of serves its purpose. This game is... and playing the game, you really don't have to look at everything. Again, it more dives into the lore, because you can probably see things in the background. You're like, ooh, there's a note here that says this. These pictures show this, so this must be a conclusion. So overall, again, with the place, while it looks very nice, it just means to an end. I'm saying that a lot, but that's kind of how this game feels. It's a fine game, but you're playing for the scares. That's what a lot of horror games, especially this one, is. You play for the scares, the horror of trying to figure out what's coming from where, stop it, and not die. So that's where that comes from. It's all... we could be in a straight warehouse with just wooden boards up instead of it actually being a real building, and it would still be scary. But that also means that, because of that, while beautiful, it's well done, it's put together, there's a lot of stuff on the wall, there's a lot of fancy things and whatnot, so it's not just barren, it does feel like a lived-in pizzeria, I will say that. It feels like an actual place that I could go in real life and be like, yeah, someone built this for to house a pizza parties and whatnot, have birthday parties, it's nice. So that's at least good. And then, so that's all I'll say for the areas. Look really nice, it's beautiful and whatnot. And now we go on from scenery to the gameplay. So the gameplay, just like FNAF 1, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and you're sitting down at the desk, you have a tablet to see the cameras, and you're trying to prevent the animatronics from killing you. But whereas one had doors on either side that you would put up to stop any of the animatronics from getting in, this time you have a mask to stop them when they're in the room, or when they're about to get in the room, to prevent them from entering all the way. And each one of them has their own thing. You have the withered Freddy, who will slowly come down the hallway, and when you're in the camera, he'll force it down, and you have to put on the mask quickly. Toy Freddy, when he's in the doorway of the hall, you'll have to put on the mask to deter him, or if he's in the room, you put it on quickly. Withered Bonnie will just randomly appear in the room. Withered Bonnie and Withered Chica will just randomly appear in the room. And again, you just put on the mask to prevent them. You can see them skulking around the place and in the vents, so you know when they're coming. But honestly, I didn't do that, because that just takes time and flashlight battery that you don't really have. It's easier just to try and put on the mask when they enter the room. Toy Bonnie and Chica, they will be on either side of the vents, either the left for Chica, right for Bonnie. And so you put on the mask, and Balloon Boy. Balloon Boy will also be on the left. And Mangle will be on the right, which Mangle I'll talk about more, but you put on the mask, and for Balloon Boy and Chica, after a while of you having the mask on, they'll leave. Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, and Balloon Boy will leave after a short amount of time. Toy Bonnie himself will come into the room and stare you down, giving you a creepy effect of being stared down by a toy animatronic. And then he'll go. Mangle also likes to hang out in the right hall, but you'll hear a gargly gook when he is there. They've changed the pronouns, I think at this point on purpose, so that you don't know whether it's male or female, or it doesn't matter what gender Mangle is. Maybe that's a moot point, because gender is kind of a moot point most of the time. Don't really need to know it. Mangle. So Mangle will be in the right vent. Gargly Gook, when she leaves, she'll be gone. Mangle also hangs out in the hall with Withered Foxy, which I'll talk next, where like Withered Foxy, when you see them, you have to flash the light many times, and that'll stop the descent. Foxy will appear once in a while in the hallway as well. Same thing, just flash them a bunch of times, they'll get the hint and leave and come back later. And Golden Freddy has a chance to appear in office, as well as in the hall. And they will just, if you don't put the mask on, they'll kill you. All animatronics will kill you in the end. So in this one, instead of the building having a certain amount of power, like it did in 1, your flashlight does. So when you use the flashlight to see in cameras and whatnot, or down the hall, use the battery. If it runs out, you can't see, and you're more likely to be attacked by Foxy. While all this is going on, though, there is also the puppet who is in Prize Corner being soothed with a music box. So you have to keep going to the camera, winding it up, cranking it up, winding it up, to make sure the puppet doesn't escape, because it will kill you. And all of these together make for a great mishmash of different ways to handle them, and really crap for when you're trying to RNG it. Because the inclusion of Foxy makes it so you can't stay on your camera for too long, or in the mask for too long, or Foxy will get you. And the whole thing with the puppet is if you don't wind up the music box, you'll be killed, obviously. But with how it is, it's very easy to be attacked by one of the withered animatronics and not be able to get to the music box in time. Or if you go to the music box in time, another animatronic is also in the room, you don't soothe its condition, and you die. Overall, I think they all work well. They all have their own, mostly have their own unique ways of doing things, so they don't attack you and whatnot. It's just really, really RNG heavy. Really, really tough to get a good motion going. Overall, not my favorite. I personally didn't care for it. It was really tough. I'm glad I got through it. Later on, I'll play through all the rest of the custom nights, challenges, maybe do the Golden Freddy 10-20 mode, but we'll see. It's just a lot. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. Heck, not all of them were at level 10 and I struggled. So, we'll see how that goes. Heck, I only had it at... What did I have it at? The new and shiny just had Balloon Boy, Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, and Toy Mangle at 10. And that was a struggle even. Like, honestly. But overall, fun game. I see why people like it. Way too much for my own liking. I think my brain works really well. I am good at processing puzzles and whatnot. But unfortunately, when it comes to this, it's just a lot. You have to react really fast. And while I did get it in the end, I don't think my brain can handle 10-20 mode. Again, we'll see. I've tried it before. I'll try it again. But I don't think I have good enough reaction time or a sight to see, click over, oh, Bonnie's there, and go back. I have done it, but I don't think I could keep that up for all 2020 mode. Fun times, though. Really good game. And as for Legacy, yeah. This takes everything from FNAF 1 of the hidden lore. It gives you a few more things to chew on, a lot more animatronics to deal with. So it does add a really good mishmash of what to do, amping up to make it a lot tougher. Still somewhat fair as long as you're good at keeping track of things and get a good rhythm going. Overall, for a Legacy, yeah. I think this went way, way too hard, in my opinion. Again, my mind doesn't really work well with seeing things and whatnot. Took me a lot more time to beat this because of that. But overall, my overall conclusion of the game is it's really fun. It is fun, it is enjoyable. If I ever do this again in the future, I'm probably just going to do the first 5 nights. I don't want to do all the hell of night 6 again. Yeah. I recommend this game, though. It's, at this point, well, the whole series at this point is I think mainly continues to have popularity because of the such obscure lore of how he's doing it, which is very smart. It's very obscure. That's how lore should be handled, where you get some information up front about certain things, like how the animatronics work, what they're after, and whatnot. But then you have a, more lore underneath, where you see pictures. You have the Atari games, where the one child is outside. There are Atari games that come up when you die. I didn't even talk about that. There's nothing really to talk about. You kind of just go through the motions of stuff. I think the one you just check out the pizzeria. The other one is you just walk around, give 4 people a present, and then give them the mask, which symbolizes the puppet putting the spirits inside the Freddy costume, the withered animatronics. So all of them are haunted, plus Golden Freddy. There's the one where you're feeding kids cake as they scream at you, and someone gets killed outside. So, like, at this point, I think the games are really, really popular because of the lore. I think if this game was just as you see it, while it's a lot of fun, I don't think it would have as much staying power. But because Scott Cawthon, despite his choices and whatnot, but then again, also, anyways, I'm not going to get into that. Because of how he presented the series, with the lore and everything, it's really held on and been really good. Which again, I think it's mainly because of the lore and watching people get scared of this from YouTube and whatnot is what keeps it going, keeps it fun. I think it is a fun series, but lore is the main reason people keep coming back. But still good. I would recommend it, but it's very simple. Very delightful. Very simple. Can't wait to play FNAF 3, which should be a little easier because there's only one animatronic. Woo! But that's it for my review. Pretty good game overall. I don't think I'll ever play it to completion again, but we'll see. But in the meantime, thank you, my puzzle, for watching, and I'll see you next anytime. Take care.